Hey everyone, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfill, sometimes known as the Bearded Dwarven Princess, and I am joined by Lucas, who is currently napping hardcore. And we're here today playing a little bit of World of Warcraft Classic to ask the question, is it worth it? With the cackling Draenei in the background and who knows what else is going on when I'm not looking at the screen. But that's the question that's on the table today. Is this game worth it? Is it worth your time investment? Is it worth the subscription? All of those things, because you get some people who say they really love it, some people who can't be bothered with it, a lot of people who are on the fence about whether or not they want to invest the time in it, and other people who might have never tried it, but they think that they're not going to like it because they've heard this, that, or the other from people who may have never actually invested a lot of time into the game. So with that being said, let me get switched over here. I am on my mage. It's currently level 60, and I just got to Sharath the other day. I haven't actually gotten here through questing. We just got ran here so that we could pick up ports and everything else. And today I'm going to head back to Stormwind so I can get my level 60 spells. And while we do that, we're going to go ahead and chat about... Oops, I'm on the Horde side. Chat about some stuff in terms of, is this game actually worth it? So I think the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what is it that you want out of an MMORPG? It's a good question. I personally like group-based gameplay when I play an MMO. If I'm going to sit down and play an MMORPG, I need to know that I'm going to be playing with other people. I'm also going to want some challenging combat, something that I can really sink my teeth into, because unfortunately, a lot of games these days don't provide me with that sense of challenge. There are a handful of games that I really like that I'll play because it has fun storylines, like, say, Star Wars: The Republic or Lord of the Rings Online, but neither of those games provide me with challenge. I'd say the only game that I'm currently playing that provides me with a significant amount of challenge outside of this game is Project 1999 Green. And the challenge related to that game is less about actual challenge and more just about a lack of quality of life features, which don't necessarily directly translate to challenge. So I want group-based gameplay, I want some challenging gameplay, I want something that's fun, I want something that has good mechanics, I want something that has good storylines, I want something that has polish. I don't want a piece of crap indie game, because let's face it, while some indie games can be good, they often lack quality of life features and they tend to not be very polished. I don't want any of those things if I'm going to invest a significant amount of time into a product.
Well met.
Now for me, I had never really played, almost did the wrong thing there. I had never really played World of Warcraft in the past. I dabbled a little bit when Burning Crusade was out for maybe 2 weeks, and then I tried again a couple of weeks after the movie came out, meaning that I tried the game for a couple of weeks. Sometime after the film came out, because Chris wanted to try it. And then when Classic first dropped, I spent about 6 months playing Classic and really enjoyed my time. And then went away to do other things because I wasn't into heavy raiding at the time. Now we're back preparing for Wrath of the Lich King, which many have told me is the best expansion that World of Warcraft ever had. I've never seen it. My brother's never seen it. And so we decided to start a group here, and that turned into getting Nathan Napalm involved in Sparoh and Maduric and other people, some of whom, including Nathan, have never done Wrath of the Lich King and who have never really played World of Warcraft before. So we've been out there playing with our static group on Thursday nights and building up a guild. We're up to like 115 players now, and we're heavily invested in this game and preparing for Wrath of the Lich King and getting ready to head into that expansion and do raiding for the first time in many years. So, is this game worth it? So, for all of the things that I need this game to be, it is ticking off all of the boxes. Yes, there's a lot of solo content, and a lot of people have said, oh, that's one of the reasons I don't like World of Warcraft is because it's just so easy. It's easy mode, it's face roll on the keyboard, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. Maybe in retail, and maybe if you've played the game before. But I can say this, if you've been watching our multi-streams on Thursday nights, we play those at 8 p.m. Central, 7:30, 8 p.m. Central onwards, with myself, Nathan Napalm, Sparoh, Maduric, and my brother, Idhradlor. If you have been watching those sessions, you'll notice we're not twinked. We're doing these quests and dungeons for the first time in many cases. We're taking our time. We have to strategize pulls. We're strategizing crowd control. We're handling mana resources and other resource management throughout the fights, and we are taking our time. And these dungeons are taking us several hours to complete. At no point in time have we ever felt like the game is lacking in challenge. Is it more fast-paced than, say, Project 1999? Sure, but that's okay. We still are having to take time and strategize and talk with each other, and there's also plenty of time for socialization. Just watch one of our multi-streams. It's plenty of proof that this game has a heavy social aspect. If you, the player, are willing to be the social component. If you're going to sit there and say that, well, I don't want to talk to people, I don't want to have to do this, I don't want to have to, well, then that's on you. That's a you problem, not a game problem. So it's providing us with a sense of challenge, and I think that that's something that I want out of a game more than anything else. But it's also giving us, I think, at least in my mind, it's got polished gameplay, it's got good quests, and it's got good storytelling. Now here's the one caveat I will say to this. I hate, with every fiber of my being, fetch quests. I absolutely abhor fetch quests. And this game has fetch quests by the dozens. When you go into any sort of quest hub, you're going to get hit with fetch quests, which is these repeatable, go get me 5 of these, 10 of these, kill 10 of these, kill 5 of these. I hate that component of any MMORPG, and World of Warcraft is kind of the game, along with EverQuest 2, those two games coming out around the same time. Those two games really sort of trademarked that type of gameplay where you're getting into these quest hubs and getting fetch quests. But I will say that the saving grace to this is that in between all of the fetch quests, you'll usually run into some quest chains which have really, really good storyline, which keep you moving forward, which is also a very important thing. Let's go ahead and train these things before I forget. Oh my god, that's a lot of abilities. But I hit level 60, so that was expected that I was going to have to learn a lot of things. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. I'm going to have to be going through here and checking that out at my leisure and figuring out what all these abilities are and where they all go and all the upgrades and everything else. By the way, this is the point where I'll do my call to action real quick and say, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update as we continue to play World of Warcraft Classic and other games here on my YouTube channel. As far as WoW goes, we do have our static group every Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central, really, here on my channel as well as on Nathan Napalm's YouTube channel and Sparoh's Twitch channel. Links to those are down below if you want to go support those folks as well and tune in when we stream on Thursday nights. But I also play Warcraft a lot outside of that. Basically every Wednesday morning, every Wednesday night, every Thursday morning, every Thursday night, every Friday morning. And as we get deeper into Wrath of the Lich King, we will be starting to play more frequently as we start raiding. So if any of that sounds like it's going to be fun to you, come hang out. Hell, come join our guild. We're on the Pagel server if you want to come join us. There's a Discord link down below if you want to come hang out. If you want to support the channel, you can always do so with a super thanks on videos like these. The button's right down there. You click it. It gives you an amount. You can also pick your own. Buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a Ferrari. It's up to you. And of course, if you want to tune in to a live stream, you can always do so. We're live every single morning, every single evening, live streaming, and you could do super thanks and super chats on the live streams. And of course, you can also join as a member of the Adventurers Guild down there for $2.99 a month. It's a great way to get some cool, unique content. And we also have that stuff behind me, which is the Patreon page for the Weave in the Void. It's what I'm working on with my brother and my wife. It's called patreon.com/wandering hermits. You can head on over there. It's a point-and-click adventure game, a 5th edition tabletop setting, and a book series if you want to check all that stuff out. Well, let's get back to why I think World of Warcraft is classic, is worth it. Well, if I can learn how to talk. I see a lot of people talking about things like, I'm waiting for Pantheon, I'm waiting for Ashes of Creation, I'm waiting for this game or that game because, you know, this, that, and the other. And the one that I always hear is like, I want social gameplay. And they're like, World of Warcraft doesn't have social gameplay because of the matchmaking system. Well, Classic doesn't have the matchmaking system. Retail does, and I understand the pros and cons of that matchmaking system, but it doesn't exist in Classic. So it's very easy to just put yourself up on the Looking for Group panel, join the Looking for Group channel, and start to ask around if you need to get a group or if you need to find other people. Or if you're in a good guild like ours, you can get groups of your own as you form up with your guildmates and use Discord and beyond. But there's also the raid component that I think adds a certain level of challenge. And I know not everyone likes to raid, and that's okay. But I think that from a challenge component, the fact that we've got 10-man content and 25-man content and the ability to sort of pick our battles, whether we have 10 people tonight or 25 people tonight, it adds another level to that challenge rating as well. And I can also say that in terms of going out there and soloing on my own, whether it's with my hunter or with my mage, compared to retail and compared to other games like Star Wars: The Old Republic or Lord of the Rings Online or EverQuest 2 even, I find World of Warcraft Classic content to be quite challenging. It's not, I can pull one, maybe two mobs, but I can't really pull waves of mobs onto me. Whereas I can go into a game like Star Wars: The Old Republic or even retail World of Warcraft, and I can pull 10, 15, 20 mobs, and I can AoE them all down, and I'm going to feel like a god. That's not the case in Classic. In Classic, I have to take my time. I have to be conscious of my pulls. I have to be careful. My mage, there's some AoE I can do, and strategic use of abilities allows me to survive if I screw it up a little bit. But for the most part, you really do have to take your time, and you have to slow down a little bit and play. So I'm getting the social component in the sense that I'm talking with my group mates, we're strategizing during gameplay, we're feeling challenged during the group combat scenarios, feeling challenged doing solo content. Storylines are pretty good. The fetch quests aren't that great. Not a big fan of those, but it is what it is. The game is extremely polished, runs exceptionally well. The soundtrack is, I think, second to none. It actually is in my top 5 soundtrack videos. I did a video on the top 5 soundtracks of all MMORPGs that I like, and this is in that list. This game has a lot going for it. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, but it has a monthly subscription, and I don't want to pay a monthly subscription. Well, that's a you problem, not a them problem. Games should be supported. Games are not free. And if you want to play a good game, then it should have some sort of a price tag attached to it. I personally have no problems paying a monthly subscription if I know I'm going to be getting all of the things that I want out of an MMORPG. And right now, as of this recording, which is being recorded on August 9th, 2022, World of Warcraft is very much providing me with everything that I want in an MMORPG. Now, maybe I'm saying this because I've never played World of Warcraft retail, and I never got jaded, and I never felt like Blizzard did this, that, or the other to me personally, and all these other things that I hear people talking about. For me, I very much feel like World of Warcraft Classic is a brand new game. I'm currently playing in the Burning Crusade. Wrath of the Lich King is just about to come out, and I feel like I'm playing something for the very first time. I don't know the zones, I don't know the content, the classes feel new to me, and even though I did play Classic when it first launched, that was only the base content. Now I'm into the Burning Crusade, which is stuff I've never seen before, and I'm getting ready to do Wrath of the Lich King, which is stuff I've never seen before. So for me, as a brand new player, as an MMORPG veteran who has played pretty much every other MMORPG under the sun, this feels like a breath of fresh air to me because it has all of the things that take me back to the first generation of MMORPGs when things were challenging and you had to talk to other people and you had to group up to do the content. It takes me back to those days. It provides me that challenging content. It provides me with a ton of content to chew through. It's extremely polished. It hits all the high notes, has all the bells and whistles, and at the end of the day, I can sit back and say, I'm having a lot of fun playing with my brother and my friends and my guild, and we're just doing all the things that an MMORPG is supposed to do, which is provide you with a good time and a social outing for your friends. For me, it's working. I don't know. Just my opinion. I think it's worth it in 2022. If I had to give it a rating on like a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like an 8.5. Like I said, the fetch quests really get to me. Maybe 8, 8.5. But the repeatable fetch quests do drive me nuts. I don't like dailies and stuff like that. But apart from that, loving it. Let me know your thoughts below.